Hello and welcome. My name is Melody and today is episode 25 of the Melody Crochet Podcast. I come to you from my home here in Texas where I share my knitting and my crochet and all my yarny goodness from the week prior, along with a little life stuff too. I hope that you're comfortable. If you are new, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Please note that below you can leave comments if you have any questions or anything like that. I look at those every day. And I also have down below my links to Instagram and Snapchat. I love me some Instagram. I live on there, and along the way I do a lot of stories, and I do like to keep up with everybody else on their stories, usually during dishes, cooking. I just pop the iPad up on this little holder I have and go to town and watch. It keeps me occupied. It's awesome. So feel free to join me over there. I would love to get to know you and see what you are making and share with you what I'm making in the meantime in the middle of the week. If you are returning, thank you so much. Give you a great big hug. I'm so happy to see you again, and I hope that you've had a great week and that you have a little something to drink. I am having salted caramel tea from Bigelow, which is amazing. I did a little stevia and a little bit of milk just to kind of dessert it up, because I have a massive sweet tooth right now. So let's see what's gone on this week. I have not done a lot of shopping or yarning in general. Well, that's not true. I did a lot of yarning. There was a commission. It was massive. It was rewarding, and I can't share it. So I'm sorry. I hate doing that. I really, really hate doing that, but I can't share it. No go. But really, really awesome and fabulous, and I was really happy to be a part of it. So I did get a little bit of me time stuff, so I will share that. And let's see what else has gone on. It's been crazy windy, and we had the tornado warnings here in Texas a couple of days ago. I want to say Friday, so that was yesterday. I'm getting way too used to them. Actually, I got the warnings. They were a couple counties away, and then they got a little closer in county because they do it by county. And I live on the border of a county, and then I got the phone call from my husband. Sirens are going off here at home. You gonna come home from Hobby Lobby? You know. And I came home from Hobby Lobby, which totally stunk because it took me all day to get out. And I went to Hobby Lobby. I got a couple things. What did I get? Nothing massively yarny. I went to DFW Fiber Fest. I shared that on the last podcast last week, so I'm a little gun shy about the yarn spending after that for a week or so, and usually a week or so before a yarn show like that, but I spent, you know, more than I normally spend in a week for sure. So after that I kind of lighten up, so I got very little to share, but I did get a couple things over at Hobby Lobby. They had a massive clearance going on, which was fabulous. But these are kind of for the homeschool thing. All their colored pencils were on clearance, so I got these each for $2, which was fabulous. And my son is a weaver. Everybody when we go to a yarn shop is like, oh, do you knit, do you crochet? And they're kind of tongue-in-cheek about it. He's like, I'm a weaver. I'm like, okay. And I found this to add to his weaving supplies. It was on clearance for $3. You cannot beat that. They had a round one too, but I did not see him making round ones, so I let that stay for somebody else who'll get that massive deal. But he's gonna love this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. He's only used the weaving sticks and done weaving by hand so far, so this is gonna be really cool. I think he's gonna love that, and he can use some different styles of yarn than he's used to also. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited. Did I get anything else? Oh. These little things like this. Like this just holds your knitting needles together when you're not using them so your yarn doesn't fall off. But little things like this cost so much if you don't use your coupon. So when I see it, I think this was $1.60, and normally they'd be like $6. So I grab them when they're on sale or clearance like this. I do love a clearance. There were so many things in my hands. I put down a lot of stuff. At the end of my podcast, I usually call my, the area where I talk about what I bought, what have I done? And I actually play that in the store too. Before I leave, I play what have I done, because otherwise my house would just be so overrun with craft supplies. It would be very startling. I am by nature not a stuff person. I don't like stuff. I get rid of stuff when I realize I'm not going to use it. This is my yarn stash. Like, this is it right here. It's definitely healthy. I feel spoiled just having my yarn stash, but I know that there's a lot of people who have a much beefier yarn stash, and when mine approaches that size, I just feel a little antsy and overwhelmed and like I'm never going to be able to use all that yarn. So I do a de-stash. What else was going on? So just a whole bunch of cold weather and wind for the last couple days, really. I just moisturized the heck out of my face because, oh, I'm so dry. My hands are so dry. Check out the nails. Gotta distract from the dry, right? I did not go understated this week. So today is Saturday, April 14th, 2018, and the end of my spring decor along has come and gone, and I have picked the prize winners. So we're gonna do that today too. I'm gonna go really quick through what I worked on aside from what I needed to work on. This is my me stuff, and the first thing is from the along that's going on in the Secret Yarnery, and Krista made a really cute shrug out of a granny square. So this is where I am so far. It's kind of hard to see, but I love the colors I went with, if I can say so myself. I basically did the same colors over and over again, but I alternated my pastel. So that's where we have left off, and I left off in an area where I can either pick up with the gray or I could pick up with the pastel. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to go for these sleeves and the lapel. That's why it's not finished yet. She put it out yesterday, and I made this in one day. So I made this Saturday. So she posted it on last Friday, the square, and I wasn't supposed to sew it up the sides, but I had to wear it. I didn't even weave in the ends, and I wore it out. I got so many compliments. I took it to about 3 stores, and I got compliments everywhere I went. People like traveled to come touch it, and like it was fabulous. So very, very cool. So let's see if I can wear it. Mine's a little shorter than hers. I think it has to do with my broad shoulders. Built like a quarterback, I am. Boop, boop. But not terribly broad, but kind of broad. And I like it, and I can't wait to put some sleeves on it. So it's really squishy. I started with a J hook. After the 5th row, I went up to a K. She suggested doing a slightly decreased square every few rows, so I did one every 3 rows, which worked out just fine. I wasn't super concerned with whether or not I ended up with a ripply square, because you're gonna wear it like this. Those ripples are not gonna show, especially after the first wash. But I did not get any ripple. I got a nice flat square. I always do though. I never really have an issue with that. I always hear people warn me, but she told me to, so I did. And I'll put some sleeves on it in the next day or so. I don't have much to do tonight, so maybe I'll get to it tonight. And I'm leaning toward gray, so that's cool. And then my only other thing I've worked on, aside from winding up my Leon Alexander yarn so that I could start a project with it. Isn't that pretty? I'm so excited. You'd hardly tell, but they are the same colors exactly, except this one just has a little bit more of the yellow, this one has a little bit more of the pink, but all the same colors are in there all the way through. It's gonna be so fun. And I was at Walmart today because it was really, really, really cold. It was so cold if you stood anywhere the wind could blow by you. And then you could go into a nook where it couldn't blow by you, and it was so toasty. My body's so confused. But it is what it is. We're gonna get through it. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but brr. It was just crazy, and it came out of nowhere. We were 80 degrees. The next day we woke up, we were 30 degrees. Then the next day we were having tornado warnings, and today we're just super, super windy, and everybody's allergies are going insane. And I'm a bit of a germaphobe, so everywhere I'm going, I'm like, oh my gosh, you sound so ill, but I'm pretty sure everybody just has allergies at this point. That's what I'm telling myself. People just have snot all over. I'm like, oh my gosh. But they're just a red, itchy-faced mess. It's so sad. But since it was so cold, they canceled our Boy Scout camp card sales today. And then I decided to go over to this community garage sale that was going to go on, and they canceled that early because it was so cold. I can't blame him. So I went to Walmart with my husband and we grabbed some lunch. But while I was at Walmart, I got this, and I don't think I've ever seen this color in Red Heart Super Saver. Have you guys seen this? It's really soft. Like really, really soft. They are really coming along in leaps and bounds, people. And I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but I am a mint green fiend. This is amazing, and I can't wait to see what I'm going to make with it. So we might need to do an along, like a one skein along. What do you guys think? Just where we make something. Wait, one skein wonder. We already did that. About a year and a half ago, I started a pair of socks, and they were the space socks for a space Christmas along with pin feathers and pearls. And I started these space socks, but they were very patterned. And around that time, I heard that Joji Locatelli did something special with her socks, and actually it was not Joji. I'm remembering it all very clearly now. It was Chili Knits. Oh, who was the one that dies for Chili Knits? She suggested that you make your socks 2 at a time, and that you get a button and you put the inside thread through one hole of the button, and through another hole of the button you put the other end of the yarn through it, and then the button sits on top and you work both of the threads at the same time. And then you do that magic circle, of course. So, I tried that. And it did work. But it twisted like crazy. Every few rows, I had to untwist, like literally unfurl. And I'm sure that there was something I could have done to make that a better experience, but it was beyond me. I couldn't figure out how to make it a simpler, more clean-cut experience. So that was a bit of a hassle. And these are my socks that I was making, the space socks. And they are very patterned. And while that's really pretty and I like that pattern, it is also a bit of a hassle. Now, I was telling myself maybe I just don't like 2 at a time. That's not true. I really do like 2 at a time. By the way, this is Addy Turbo Sock Rockets, and they are size 0. I believe the pattern calls for a size 1. I always go down 1 needle size because I'm a loose stitcher. So I said to myself, I could not get myself to frog these. I had a bit of a frog fest this week, and I just could not once again get myself to frog these socks, even though I have not worked on them in over a year. Well over a year. It was before Christmas last year. So I said to myself, how can I make me love working on these socks? Because that's all that really matters. I mean, if I just want a pair of socks, I can get some socks, right? But I dyed this yarn. I love this yarn. Like, seriously, it matches my nails. Oh, have you ever? Oh, okay, I'm better. But this is Knit Picks Stroll Shimmer, the bear. And I dyed it with a bunch of blues and some yellows and greens just to get that mixed look. And I really, it's very soft, super shimmery. I could not be more pleased with the color. And I made it to look like space because that's what the along was for, with pin feathers and pearls. It was supposed to look spacey. And these are my space socks. So that was my goal. And I just could not take it out. I could not frog it. And I usually have no problem frogging. I start it and then I hand it off to one of my children and say, rip this up. No issue. But I said, how can I make myself love making these? And then I went ahead and dissected that cake. I broke the yarn because dissecting the cake meant I had to break the yarn. And rolled them up into 2 very even balls I measured. And aren't they cute? They're so glittery. And then I decided I'm just not going to do that pattern. I'll have some really decorative toes, which is awesome. And you can't keep me off of them. I've probably made about 10 rows since then. It was just a couple days ago. And that was a lot more than I've done on them in the last, I don't know, year. So how far have I come? Yeah, about 10 rows. I'm really pleased about it. And they're going to be my new car knitting, since I can just work around them in a circle now, which is fabulous. And I do need to start another couple of pairs to hide around the house because I haven't got a lot of socks going. I finished some socks. They keep getting caught on my knitting needles keep getting caught on my nail. Gross. But I'm pretty much just going to have socks all over the place. I went on a big whip finishing a few months ago and finished a bunch of socks. And now I really don't have any going. I like having several pairs of socks just sitting all over because they're just such a great thing to work on when you're on the phone, when you're on hold, when you're in line somewhere, when you're watching a movie, when you're hanging out with the kids. I homeschool, so there's a lot of sit while somebody reads. We do a lot of audiobooks, which is fabulous. Let's see. There we go. I'll have to fix that up later. And it's being stored in my cute little bag. My friend made it for me. She felted it. Picks up stuff. But isn't that adorable? I love it. It's great for in the car. Just have to make sure that it's all in something that it won't fall out of. So I usually keep my notions and such in a pouch. This is one of my lingerie style Ipsy ones. Isn't that cute? Ipsy is fabulous because you get little samples, but it's mostly fabulous because every month they send you a cute little bag. So that is my little sock story. My Mandala Madness blankets have gotten no attention this week. Since we have had the Spring Decor Along come and go, I figure they can just be a reward. They're definitely getting done. It's hard to keep me away from it, so I'm excited to see what happens next. So I finished all my work and I got everything done, and now after I podcast and post, one of my rewards will be being able to do the next step. There's 18 steps total. So beefy. Let me put my Minty down. Is it really called Minty or did I just dream that? It's called Minty. Okay, I'm better. Okay, let's do the prizes for the Spring Decor Along. Thank you guys so much for playing along with me. I really appreciated it, and some of you made the most beautiful, beautiful things. Oh my gosh. So let's think about this. We have 4 prizes. One of them is the YouTube prize, and there will be a question that I want you to answer, and that is going to be asked in a minute because it won't make a lot of sense if I say it right now. And we have the first prize is going to be for the beautiful Treasure Island shawl from Hannah over at Cozy Cottage Crochet, and I am so excited to give it away. It's so pretty. I love my pattern, and this is going to go to number 12 of the chatter thread, and that is Morgan D93. And Morgan, it's beautiful. I hope you get a chance to make one and enjoy the pattern. Please notify me on Ravelry or go ahead and notify me and I'll let Hannah know, and then we'll get that pattern right to you. And you have 2 weeks to let us know. Let's see. The next one is also from the chatter thread, and this is the first prize of the chatter thread that is actually going to be going out in the mail. And this one is going out to Penny, Rocky Mountain Penny, number 46. And she made the beautiful doily. Oh, gracious. It is gorgeous. And she is getting the purple bag. And this is made by Kalisha over at Quirky Monday Podcast. She gave it to us to hand out, and oh, it's so perfect and cute little marker right there for your zipper. It says made with love, and it's purple. I'm pretty fond. And I dyed some yarn to go in it. So there will be green yarn. Oh, gracious. I'll fix it. And that cute little charm. This is the granny square charm that I made, and that's going to be part of the question. I have a question. How much do you think I should sell these for? I know that's an odd question, but people in the podcast notes keep asking how much I'll be selling them for and where they can get them. I do have a Melody Crochet Etsy store, which is fabulous. I have had it for years. It's actually my second one. I'll tell you in a second. But I've had it for years. Melody Crochet is an Etsy shop. I just don't stock it very often. I stock it when I get an idea and I want to make a whole lot of something. So it does happen. But aside from that, usually Christmas. And let's see. So I'm happy to sell them. I have a ton of them. As long as everybody knows that they are never perfect, they're never the same twice. I'm always worried about that people will get them and be like, I expected them to be like, you know, it's artsy, it's clay, so it's not the same twice for me anyway. Somebody else might be able to do it a little cleaner, a little bit more assembly line fashion, but I'm more of a flying by the seat of my pants clay person. So what do you think I should sell them for? I mean, they're not perfect. They are cute. I do like them. And do you think I should sell them by the ones or in like sets? I guess I could do both. That wouldn't be hard. So let me know below what you think I should sell my cute little clay yarn themed project markers and what do you call it? Project markers and progress. Oh. So let me know below what you think I should sell my little progress markers and stitch marker sets for on Etsy, because I honestly have no idea. And if you check the price range on Etsy for that stuff, it's a massive range. I mean, a big range. But I don't want to ignore anybody. I've asked people who have left comment asking where they can buy them to follow me over on Instagram so that I can talk to them about it, because I didn't want to make them feel ignored, but I honestly don't have a solid answer. So if that was you and you had questions, please get a hold of me over on Instagram, or feel free to wait, and in the next few weeks I will probably definitely most certainly be posting some. And what do we have? What do we have? The next one is the Finished Objects thread winner, and that is going to Sasha is Great, who is number 25 in the Finished Objects. And Sasha, you are winning this pretty minty bag with the same space theme, which is adorable. Different fabric, actually. They're very different. This one's glittery. Ooh, penny. It's gonna be so fancy. Maybe you could put your parasol in there. It's gonna be gorgeous. She's making a parasol for the As Seen on TV Cal, and it's for NCIS, I believe. I've never watched the show because I have kids, so I never get to watch TV for me very much. I have a 12-year age gap, so really, I don't run the TV, and I'm fine with that. I have podcasts and all sorts of stuff. I think I've maybe been able to watch one television show as a TV show forever, and I tend to stick with the peppy stuff. I'm really sensitive to like anything drama at all, but it looks really cute. And the person that has the parasol in the picture, I'm familiar with her, and she's always looked really adorable. I love her little goth style. It's adorable. And inside you get 2 markers and more green yarn. So congratulations. I'm assuming your name is Sasha, because Sasha is great. Either you are Sasha or you really like Sasha and wouldn't be mind being called Sasha, because Sasha is great. And it's very nice to meet you, Sasha. Okay, so I need you both to get a hold of me within the next 2 weeks, and I can get those out to you. And please let me know if you'd like me to wind those into cakes. My cakes are not perfect, but if you don't have a cake winder, I'm happy to wind those hanks into cakes for you. Okay, now we have our little giveaway, the YouTube one, and it's going in a happy bag. Check this out. I picked this up for you guys. It's way too big for the little giveaway package, but I couldn't leave it there. You guys needed a happy bag. So I got you a happy bag and the Darn Good Yarn knitting needles and crochet hook set. Isn't that cute? They all stand up on their own. I got it in my Darn Good Yarn package, and I know I'm not going to use it right now because I am completely and totally in love. I'm going to take these off. All right. I see really well right here and really blurry far away. So right now I can't see me in the camera, but that's probably for the best. What's worse than watching a podcast where the person is looking at themselves? Am I right? It took me several tries to learn not to look at myself. And I find that not wearing my glasses and not wearing my contacts helps all the way, because I couldn't possibly. But look at these. Look at these. Hopefully I'm showing them to you. They stand up on their own. They are purple. It is absolutely adorable. But I'm so in love with my new tulips, and I have my knitting needle game down pat, so I figured I'd pass it on. Maybe somebody else could use it better. And they're really pretty. So I'd rather they go to a good home instead of just getting lost in my stash. So I hope you like them. In addition to that, in the bag, you also get green yarn. Everybody gets green yarn. And a little stitch marker and a little progress keeper. So that is the prize. If you are interested, please below leave a comment saying what you think I should charge for my little stitch markers on Etsy, because I'm no idea. And people have asked enough to where I feel bad ignoring them at this point, so no more ignoring them at this point. Okay, yeah, a big old swig of tea. We will go ahead and I will run that prize in probably about, I'd say Friday. We will get together on Friday and run that prize. Should we do 2 weeks? Because that's less than a week. I guess that's still spring. Let's do 2 weeks. I'm going to let this go for 2 weeks. Leave a comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel so that I can get a hold of you afterward. I tend to just, basically, it tells me how many comments I have. I do random number generator, and then I will reply to that comment and let them know that they've won. If you aren't subscribed and don't have notifications on, well, if you aren't subscribed, I don't think you're going to see that I've commented on you. I will also look for you over on Instagram. If you'd like to put your Instagram name on there too, that's up to you. I don't know if you want to do that on comments. I'm not going to say yes or no. That's up to you totally. But I will be replying to your comment in a comment. Just like if you asked me a question, I would reply to your comment. So please subscribe. You do need to be subscribed to win. And please turn on notifications. I would really appreciate it because I guess we get a little lost in the fold. There's a lot of new podcasts coming out every day. But that's totally up to you. So this last week, Kalisha over at Quirky Monday Podcast, she tagged me in a new Fiber Friends tag. And I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions. Who are you? Hi, I'm Melody. I like to crochet and knit. I enjoy polka dots. I like purple. I love unicorns. I collect little fat Buddhas, or little, I like the fat Buddhas because they look so happy. So I collect those on all sorts of stuff. I think they're adorable. That's all I really got. Everything else you guys kind of know. Let's see. When, why did you start knitting, crocheting, spinning, weaving? I started crocheting when I was pregnant with my son. The second son, not the first one. So it's been 9 years. And I started because I wanted to make him stuff. I made him a little stroller blanket. I made him some hats. I expected just one to make a thing. And then all of a sudden it just snowballed and I've never stopped. Before I knew it, I found that I loved making hats, and then I started making hats for other people, and then I started selling hats and making patterns so other people could learn how to do color work. I love doing color work. My first big seller was crochet hats with the kids' names in it. So, oh, funny story. My first crocheted hat with my son's name in it, his name's Izzy, and we wanted it to be John Deere themed. He had like a John Deere onesie or something. And so I made him a bold hunter green cap, and it said Izzy in bright yellow letters, and I had some edging on the outside so it would hold its shape, because if you do a stitch sometimes it doesn't hold its shape, so you do kind of a contrast. I like a reverse crochet or something on an edge for boys. So I had this hat and it was very distinctive because it's yellow, green, has edging, and he could not have been 2 years old because he turned 2 at our first house. So this was at our condo, so he was under 2 years old. And I made him this hat, and he had it for quite a while, but he was still very young, and it must have fallen out of the stroller or fallen onto the floor, But there's this older gentleman, and he was like the parent to some people that lived a few doors down in our complex, and it was a big cul-de-sac condo complex. And one day I'm driving back and I see him walking, which we always saw him walking, and he had my son's Izzy hat on, and it was really small because it was for him when he was under 2 years old, and he just had this tiny little hat on his head and it said Izzy right on the front. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I would have made up one. If he wanted one, I totally would have made him one, but I couldn't say anything at that point like, oh, would you like me to make one with your hat? There was nothing I could have said that wouldn't have sounded sarcastic and rude, so I just let that go. Made Izzy a new couple of hats because that's what I did at the time. I made a lot of those hats, hundreds of those hats. So, your favorite and proudest make. I would have to say, it's hard to say, it changes all the time, doesn't it? Right now, my proudest make would probably be Izzy's jumper. His hoodie that has the little pockets up front. He just wanted that specifically, and I was so proud to make it for him. I'm going to be definitely making more, so that'll be very cool. But at the time, they're all my proudest make because I always make a point of challenging myself and making things that are so far out from my skill set that I'm proud of it. So I was really proud of myself the first time I made my first bucket hat, and the first time I created my first ties, and the first time I knitted my first hat. Oh my gosh. I could go through, if you guys would like me to show you the bin of things that I've made, I'd be happy to. I only have about a bin left. Everything else gets gifted away. But I have like my first hats that I made and everything. They're so bad. But I was very proud of the first few knitted garments. Even the first few knitted dishcloths, because I tried so hard to learn to knit, and then I finally got it and I was just like, oh, I'm a rocket scientist. So, what is your most disastrous makes? Probably those knitted hats. They are not the right shape for a brain, but I still have them and I still wear them. I have no problem wearing them. Super proud. Do you have a favorite place to buy yarn or fiber? Everywhere. Everywhere. No, everywhere. Online or local? Definitely local, because I don't love to buy yarn online. I want to touch it and see the colors first. But if I know I love something, I'll buy it online, especially D-stash. Oh, I love a good D-stash. What is your most used and most loved pattern? The Sunday shawl. I love the Sunday shawl. It's a crocheted shawl pattern. If you get a chance, go take a peek at it. It's my favorite. I've made it several times. I've gifted it. I love it. I just scratched myself. I hope I'm not all red right there now. Number 7, your most dreaded knitting, crocheting, spinning task. Weaving in ends. For sure. Your favorite task. Ooh, picking the colors and picking the yarn before the project begins. What is your favorite crafty entertainment? But I'd say my favorite crafty entertainment is probably podcasts, for sure. I'm in a bit of a spoof right now where it's spring and we're planting the garden, so I'm all over the garden stuff right now while I'm knitting and crocheting. So I was doing my work and such, and I just delved into the deep, deep pool of garden YouTube. Oh my gosh. It is beefy. For patterns, do you prefer books, magazines, Ravelry, or would you rather make up your own? Yes. Is that a choice? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't prefer books. Well, I have no problem with a pattern in a book. I just tend to buy books and not use the patterns very often. There's a lot of books that I've bought and I've gotten rid of because I just realized I'm just not going to use it. And I'd rather have it in the hands of somebody that's going to love it. Magazines, I totally use the patterns in magazines all the time. I love them. Ravelry, I use Ravelry patterns even more than the magazines. So that's pretty cool. Plus there's so many every day you can find a new one, and that's pretty awesome. And would you rather make up your own? I make up my own all the time, and I don't think I ever make a pattern according to the pattern maker. So ever. I don't think I've ever 100% followed the directions in a pattern. Do other people follow the directions in a pattern? Do you look at a pattern and do it 100% exactly the way they tell you to? Because I don't think I ever have. What is your most favorite brand of knitting needles or crochet hooks? And for spinning, yada yada yada. Knitting needles, my favorite is for socks, the Addi Turbo Sock Rockets. I like for DP ends. I know they're called carbons. I forget who makes them, but carbons are my favorite. And for circulars that are not for socks, I really like Nova Platinas, which are metal, and I love the way they sound when they rub against each other. They just kind of ring. It's absolutely beautiful. For woods, I use the Knitter's Pride rainbows. I think they're called rainbows. They might be majestics, but that's what I have the set of, and I like those very much when I'm looking for a wooden needle. And if I'm just looking for some straights, I like the Michaels brand. Loops and threads. They have a great nickel finish, like it's a brushed finish now on their metal needles, and I love it. If you get a chance, I highly suggest it. I went back and got a couple more because they're only a couple dollars, and they're great for my dishcloths. They just rub cotton perfectly for me. So for crochet hooks, now we have to start basic. My favorite basic hook is going to be a boy. And then from there, I went on to clover. I actually lucked into clovers because I went to Joann's one time, and the clovers, the golden hooks, the regular flat-handled ones, I found the entire set in a holder one day for $8, which is amazing. I should have gotten both of them, but I left one behind. So I got those, and I found out I love them, and I love that nickel-y, that brushed finish they have. So that was fabulous because I went on from a super shiny hook to something with a little bit of smooth texture, which was fabulous. Plus they're a little bit pointier, and I think a little bit smaller in general per size. And I found they just worked really well, which was a nice upgrade, although I'm still fine with the boy. And then I found, a few months ago, I found tulips. And I'm loving tulips. I ended up getting a set. Now I have about 10 of them right now. Loving the tulips. Even more, it just feels weightless. It's really strange the way they're balanced. I will figure it out someday why they feel so good. But, so I have those now too. I was gonna get the pink ones, but they don't have the letter on them, the letter size. I don't think I can handle that. So no. They're really cute and pink and everything, but no. I don't see that happening. But I still, once again, have no problem just picking up my boy hook. So, boy, clover, and right now #1 is tulip. So, that's my favorite brands. That's a whole lot of favorite brands, isn't it? Okay. What is your favorite notion or tool? Scissors. All the scissors. I love scissors. I love cute little scissors. Any kind of cute snips, because I put a pair of scissors in every project bag. I also like a good hand lotion in every project bag, and a little bit of, what else do I keep? Keep a couple things in every project bag that normally people just keep in one place, but I take my project bags on the go. So, plus I have scissors stashed everywhere in my life. Scissors are everywhere. What is your current favorite project? My mandala madness. For sure, I am loving making those blankets. Favorite place to knit, crochet, spin in public? Coffee shops. What is your favorite fiber arts book? Hip Hats and Cool Caps. Get Your Crochet On by Afia Ibomo. It's the one book for crochet that I've come back to over and over and over again, and it's so colorful and cool and funky, and it just has amazing color combinations that you could use in other things, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's got some serious flavor. It's awesome. I highly suggest it. And I don't know if it's for everybody, but it has a fedora, it has a visor. I've made their visor from there so many times. I make them for everybody in the summer. They're so fast and so comfortable, and you can make them out of cotton or acrylic or whatever kind of yarn you want to, but I highly suggest it. I love mine. It's one of the few books that I know will stay. What? Do you have any other hobbies? Archery. I love archery. We all have bows. It's a family thing. Video games. I play Final Fantasy, RuneScape, other things. I like MMOs where I play with other people. Nothing too violent. I do fight the fighting parts, but nothing where I fight other people, like real people. We fight things together. And I play them a lot. And I've played them for a long time. If you could meet anyone in the fiber arts community, who would that be? No, that would be awkward. I mean, I'd love to meet anybody from the fiber arts community, but like one specific person? Nah. Although I met Marley Bird. Oh, Jada. Definitely Jada and Stitches. I love her. Marley Bird, I met her and it was magical. We hugged. She's so awesome. Very, very nice person. Okay, now I'm supposed to make choices. Knit or crochet? Crochet. Weave or spin? Spin. Color or neutrals? Color. Sweater or socks? Ooh. Ooh. I guess socks. I'd rather make socks, but I'd rather have a sweater, right? Hat or mitts? Hats. Hats, 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 hats. All the hats. I like mitts too, but I love making hats. So that is the end of it. Who am I going to be tagging? Hooked on Owls. Hi, Lucy. You do it. Do it. Do it. Okay, I'm sorry. Shauna and Stitches. She has a great podcast if you get a chance to see her. And Emma over at Lulu Loves, who I've never spoken to ever, but I do love her podcast and I think it's awesome. So I'll tag her on Instagram. I don't even know if she will get that. She feels very removed from me. So, but I love her podcast. She just does, she's like the anti-me in a good way. She's got the soft, mellow colors and the beautiful, fluffy yarns, and it's calm and quiet. She talks about reading, and it's very calming. She has a fabulous podcast if you get a chance to go see her. And let's see, I'm thinking. I think that's it for me for this week. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope that you have a fabulous week. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Consider subscribing. I would very, very, very much appreciate it. About half the people don't subscribe. So I would love it if you would go ahead and click that and subscribe. It would be really nice to keep in touch. And if you'd like to click the notification bell, that would be fabulous too. Totally up to you. And I'm over on Instagram. Would love to see you there. We'd love to hear from you over in the Ravelry group. If that's your thing, come see us on Ravelry. That would be great. I am doing an along right now with Kalisha. It's not that I ever forget Kalisha's name. It's that I don't know if I should call her Nadia or Tani or Kalisha. So really that's the question mark going through my head when I look completely blank about your name. But I know you're Kalisha, but you're Nadia or Tani. And you're the Quirky Monday. So she's got the Quirky Monday podcast. Feel free to go give her a peek, but she's going to have the fasten off, I called it fasten off again, finished objects thread, and I have the chatter thread for the As Seen on TV Cal that is going on right now. Go make something that you've seen on TV or in a movie and enter it with us, and there will be prizes and we will be chatting, and we are fabulous and fun and friendly, kind of. We're fabulous, fun, and friendly. We do our thing. So, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Bye.